Hello and welcome back to Warrior Priest, and when we left off we had just taken one of the last towns of the vampire counts, and we also, of course, have some unfinished business with the other faction in the game. So, first of all, we're going to be tackling this vampire vassal. I have no idea what composition he has in his army, but I felt, hey, you know what? What better way to start off an episode than with a, possible defeat? I mean, obviously, it's probably not going to happen, because we did see at the very start there, our combat strength is quite different, question mark? I hope it is, at least. I hope it is somewhat decent. Anyway, let's see what we can do here. Also, oh, okay. Oh, phew. Okay. I thought to myself, wait a minute. Am I being assaulted by blood magic at that exact moment when I was loading in? I have no idea, but no, it was just the boundary of the level. Gotta say, I actually really like this particular battlefield. Look at this. This, I don't even know. Is this in the base game? Is this in the base game? I don't think it's in the base game, right? I mean, I don't think so. I don't think I've ever seen this one before. And I have to say, I like it a huge amount. This is giving me desolate wasteland kind of vibes. It's giving me this has been a battlefield before kind of vibes. And I like that. It really improves the immersion, because let's face it, you're living in a war-torn world, right? If I can actually speak properly. A war-torn world that is consistently wrought with battles upon battles and battles. And you think you're not going to come across a battlefield that was a site of many bloody onslaughts beforehand? I mean, really, come on. Most of the time, you're probably going to come across these places. I mean, I suppose maybe that wouldn't be the case, because it is a pretty significantly large world in general. And I'm not even talking about this mod specifically. I'm just generally saying, in Bannerlord, there's going to be a number of places on the world map where you think to yourself, this is probably going to have been a battle multiple times before in the past, and it's a bit weird that they wouldn't, it wouldn't change the landscape in any way. I mean, obviously, it depends on if you're using artillery or something like that. Speaking of artillery, I'm going to be doing something about that in a future episode as well. You don't have to worry. I am going to get a cannon, because someone was kind enough to actually explain the mechanics surrounding how a cannon works with spells. Because I actually thought you'd need to target the cannon or use it in some way, and it would be on the same keybind. But obviously, that's not the case. It is on the same keybind, but it is more of a case of you just select it the same way you select a spell. So that's really, really taking a load off my mind, and I'm very appreciative of people letting me know about that, so thank you. And hopefully I'm going to be able to get a couple of cannons, maybe a mortar or two. I'm actually not entirely sure. At the moment, I believe have... how much space do I have? I think I have 2 spaces for artillery pieces, and hopefully I'm going to be able to get more, because obviously it is dependent on your engineering skill as far as I'm aware. Oh, this guy was literally just standing there waiting for me to shoot him in the face. I don't exactly know why he was doing something like that, but okay. Anyway, let's just tell my forces to charge in here. Should be perfectly fine to eliminate the rest. They had an Empire Sergeant working for them. What a traitor. Oh, yes, what a traitor indeed. Anyway, yeah, this is a foregone conclusion right here. Pretty simple for us to eliminate these guys. And, yeah, they didn't really have much to demonstrate, mostly because they were running around with vampire new bloods and skeletons. They had around 200 units, but as we know, vampire armies, if they don't get I wouldn't say a significant amount of time, but if they get a little amount of time to build up to these higher tiers of unit, and I'm talking about obviously the Drakenhof Castellans. If you can make an army entirely out of those guys, whoa, you're gonna be doing very well for yourself. Oh yes, you're gonna be doing very, very well for yourself. So thankfully, they didn't have a huge amount of those. I suppose if they did have a huge amount of those, then we were going to be in trouble, and the combat strength would have reflected that. But we're going to be taking him prisoner. This guy looks very cool, got to say that. And look at this. Oh my, look at that. We got some Demigryph Knights. We got some Knights of the Inner Circle. Whoa, okay, hello there. I don't have enough space, actually. Well, I do have enough space to take the ones that I really want to take, but this is exactly what I was talking about in one of the previous episodes. I'm always so incredibly thankful that the game has this kind of mechanic in it. Same thing with Warband as well. When you go into a battle and then all of a sudden you realize that this person had massive amounts of prisoners that you can then rescue, and it's just a wonderful gift, you know, it's an unexpected gift, you know? It's really, really amazing. I really love those kinds of things. Anyway, let's just take all the prisoners that we can. Not going to be taking any more troops, and we're just going to be rescuing all of the loot. Yes, indeed, rescuing all of the loot. That is what we will do. We will rescue all of the loot and set it free in the marketplace to improve the economy. Ah ha ha. I'll let myself out. I know. Anyway, there we go. Nice, wonderful selling for 15,000. We are not doing that well in terms of cash, but I'm not actually losing a huge amount of money at the moment, which I'm very pleased about. Let me just take a quick look at my engineering skill here. Oh, I actually have 144. Okay, I need 150 to be able to gain an extra slot of artillery. So I'm actually going to see, should I go for more? I'm actually not sure whether I should go for more here. Because if I do decide to go for more, I mean, I'm going to get to 150 anyway, right? So I'm actually just going to go for another little bit in two-handed. I know, I can't resist, okay? I can't resist. Hopefully you'll forgive me, because for me personally, I find the two-handed combat to be so much more fun with this sword. And, you know, the one-handed, not so much. But obviously this does open me up, or shall we say open my character up to a lot more damage, because obviously I'm not going to be using a shield. So obviously that's going to make a pretty significant difference if we are up against a lot of missile-based units. Anyway, oh yeah, I didn't sell my prisoners. Ugh. That's actually kind of, that's kind of frustrating. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to go straight on in, just do an auto-resolve here. I'm going to take him prisoner as well. Oh, we have more prison... What? How do I have more prisoner capacity? Did I have that capacity the whole time? I must have had that capacity the whole time, and I literally just didn't see, or something like that. But anyway, there we go. We've got even more wonderful cavalry, and more wonderful loot that we can rescue from this evildoers, this evildoers inventory. Yes, indeed. Anyway, we can now sell these guys. Unfortunately, the previous vassal that we took prisoner, Mr. Johann, he managed to survive and indeed escape from our clutches, which I am very, well, not really caring about too much. So yeah, we don't really need to worry about him at the moment. But yeah, we actually have 239,000 in cash. And I do want to take one more castle before we move away from the Vampire Count's territory. And Balthazar is actually on his way to take Castle Zenkhof. I think he will probably be taking that, or at least I hope so. And we will take this one. So let's have a look-see. Ooh, not too bad, not too bad. And this gives us an opportunity to actually advance our engineering to 150. Bear in mind, we do need to get to 150 to be able to gain that extra slot, because as far as I'm aware, you need 50 engineering skill. Every single time you reach a multiplier of, or shall we say a multiple of 50, so 50, 100, 150, 200, etc., you are going to have the capacity for cannons increased by 1. That's how I've had it explained to me in the comments, and hopefully I've understood it correctly. And hopefully that is now going to mean that my engineering skill will reach 150. I have no idea what it is at the moment because of all of this damage spam, but hopefully it's going to be working for us. I'm actually going to take a look just before we go inside, because if I need more engineer... Oh, 147. We're at 147? Really? I actually would have expected us to gain so much faster. Oh, okay. Ooh, they're brave, aren't they? They're getting overconfident. Look at this. They're running at us with 809 enemy units. Okay, this is actually kind of, I'm gonna say this is kind of amusing. All right, now I'm not saying that as a way to be like, oh yes, but we are so much better. You know, I'm not saying it that way. But what I am saying is, they obviously, wow, I just don't even understand. They have 800. They must have literally tier 1, tier 2 units across the board pretty much. Because if they had any number of really good cavalry units, we would probably be facing a almost surefire defeat here. But if I can get some amazing spell casts off, and I'm actually going to be saving my spells for my my holy line attack, that's basically going to be the only thing I'm going to be using here. And then 1 heal, that's it. I'm going to have enough magic power for 1 heal. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're just going to leave my forces roundabout back here. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to make it so that my my infantry stands a bit closer, and we're going to spread out our archers, because our archers, actually, you know what? Let's actually move them a little bit further. Let's move them over there. And let's have my companions do auto-delegate so that they can actually skirmish around a little bit, and we can see if they can maybe do a little bit of damage here and there. That might be somewhat good to contribute. Okay, so let's have a look. I really wish they'd just stop. Okay, you know what? Let's just do this. Not bad. I mean, it could have been better, right? It could have been better. I killed 106. It 100% could have been better, but you got to start somewhere, in my opinion. You got to start somewhere. If you don't start somewhere, then these guys are just going to be all up in our business, and that is not going to be very nice. So I kind of had to, you know, instill a little bit of fear in our opponent, if they can even feel fear, that is. they probably can't, but yeah, okay, so the enemy is actually still not stopping. I'm a little bit worried about this, but I guess I will just now tell my cavalry to charge in, and I don't exactly know what to do with my spell right now. I kind of want to unleash again, but my cavalry's going in. Personally, I don't think we have anything to worry about. Ooh, one of my Celestial Wizards has now advanced to Adept casting level. That's nice. Oh yeah, that's going to be super, super nice to see that. So hopefully we'll be able to survive this fight and then go on to speak to the Magister and see what else we can get him. I think we can get Chain Lightning now for him, which is definitely going to be something nice for him. It's going to do a lot of damage, or at least I hope it will. Ah, hello. Yes, you murdered my horse. I'm not a big fan of that. Okay, there we go. Just going to do this. Hopefully not going to eliminate any of my own forces. No, it doesn't seem like it. And apparently, yeah, this has a bayonet on it. I actually had no idea that it has a bayonet, so I can actually use this as a melee weapon, amazingly enough. I did 7... Okay, you know what? Let's not even bother with that. I really don't have a huge amount of polearm skills, so of course it's going to be... well... it's going to be doing very little damage. So yeah, I'm just going to use it in the standard fashion and just shoot people with it instead. But it's nice to know that it does actually have a bayonet. And I very much thank you for telling me. Because I thought to myself, it does have a little pokey thing on the end right there. But, you know, sometimes, you know, you think that might just be decoration or something like that. But no, it's actually functional, which is very cool. Functional... yet stylish. That's a reference and a half, isn't it? But I have no idea where it's from. Where's that reference from? I have no idea. Yeah, sometimes I think of these references and I remember very specifically how that line is said, and then I'm thinking, where is it from? Functional yet stylish? It must be a line from some unit or something in some real-time strategy game that I played a long time ago or something. I have no idea what kind of unit would say that, though, to be honest. Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Oh, okay, be careful. Oh, never mind. Okay. Yeah, the Spirit Host absolutely got murdered. And we are just going to tell my forces to charge in, tell my infantry to charge in now, because we've obviously told our cavalry to just go straight on in there, but now our infantry can maybe help out a little bit here and there. Hello there, sir. Would you mind not messing me up? Thank you. Oh, thank you. That's very nice. Oh, this is You know, I gotta say, I love this weapon. Thank you very much once again for letting me know about it, because, well, that's the thing. I was told very early on that I could unlock all the other firearms from the Master Engineer, and I thought to myself, yeah, okay, that's great. I'd like to do that. But obviously, the main problem was me being a bit of a, you know, bit of a dum-dum, I guess. You know, trying to complete the Master Engineer quest and failing at it pretty hard. But yeah, the point is, now that we have completed it, it's so cool. It really is. To have the ability to use this weapon. Unfortunately, the only thing that it does do is it does drain your ammunition really fast. But obviously, if I'm using my sword as a primarily two-handed weapon, then theoretically I could swap out the shield for some more ammo, which would maybe be a pretty cool idea. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I'll need it, maybe I won't need it. Very much depends on how many enemy units we're going to be fighting. But you can see here, look at the utter devastation that we're bringing, and I only used 2 spells, and they weren't even good, my casts. Yeah, that just shows. If the vampire counts do not have amazingly high tier units, or at the very least, if they don't have mid-tier units, I'm talking about mid to high tier units, if they don't have any of those, and they have primarily skeletons, they will almost always lose, just because of this, which I'm not entirely sure if that's because my own forces are just incredibly powerful, which might very well be the case. I mean, I did have quite a lot of these Preceptor Knights of the Inner Circle on the battlefield, which you must have, I mean, I think they are the highest tier. I think they are the highest tier of unit. Bear in mind, this guy is also from a minor faction as well. And as we know, minor factions, at least in the base game, I'm not entirely sure about in this mod, but in the base game, minor factions units are usually not the best. But yeah, maybe the desert dogs are actually not too bad. Let's actually just take a quick look at that, to be honest, because I'm very interested to see. Oh, wait a minute. How do I see their troops, actually? Here we go. All right. Oh, no, they're actually pretty decent. They're pretty decent, but these are tier 6. Ooh, okay, yeah, no. They're very lightly armored, as you can see right here. They're very lightly armored, yeah. So, obviously, you can't just look at their stats to get the overall impression of these kinds of units. You have to look at their gear as well. That's going to make the overall difference, because if you take a look at the Preceptor Knight of the Inner Circle, you can see here, obviously his stats are overwhelmingly good. They're just so much better than the previous unit. But if you take a look at his actual gear, you'll see that he's mostly wearing plate armor. He's wearing, well, heavy armor almost across the board, and he's very difficult to dislodge from any position at all. And it's the same thing with the previous tier of unit as well. But if we were to look at the same tier of unit as the Desert Dog, you can see here that it actually has the exact same stat line as that previous unit from the minor faction, which I very much like, by the way. I'm not saying that I personally think that minor factions should be inherently weaker than regular faction units, obviously. I'm not saying that, because I actually very much value a balanced game experience in that aspect, because in the base game, minor factions, as I say, are a bit of a joke at times, where you are, attacked by 200 enemy units and you have 40 or 50 at the beginning of the game, and you think, oh wow, I'm gonna really die here, but then you find out that those units are without shields and have very light armor, and they're super easy to eliminate. And that is obviously not the case with this minor faction. I mean, their stats are good, but their gear is not. So that is kind of a balancing act, I suppose. And generally, as you can quite clearly tell, this guy is wearing full plate armor once again. So that is definitely something to bear in mind when you are dealing with minor factions in this mod as well. So their stats are good, so they are offensively decent, but obviously defensively they are not so good. So yeah, that's actually a pretty cool way to balance things in my opinion, because it makes it so that the minor factions, while they might still be a threat, because obviously in the base game, then I wouldn't say they are a threat as such or anything like that. I would say that they can be in certain circumstances, like if you are very weakened and you need to be running away or something like that, then maybe they can prey upon you and maybe even achieve victory in some cases. But yeah, they're not usually going to be that dangerous. But these guys, they can do some damage to you, but they will themselves take some pretty significant damage. So that's obviously a bit of a problem for them. But it's nice to see that. It's nice to see that they have the balancing, at least in my opinion, done really quite nicely. All right, so wait a minute. What's going on here? I'm just going to take that, and I don't really... Do I want to take any more? I don't really want to take any more. Okay, so that's absolutely fine. Ooh, nice armor right there. 59,000 for my forces. I'm actually wondering whether I should... No, you know what? I'm not going to take the money, because... I mean, I am going to take the money. I'm not going to donate the items. Mostly because I want to buy cannons. And I'm going to need as much money as I can get my hands on, basically. So, yeah, anyway, we're just going to allow my trebuchets to continue doing their work. And we're going to hopefully get the walls down, and then I'll be able to go in just a second. Now, obviously, I would like to see my engineering skill. How is my engineering skill doing, by the way? 147? Are you serious? Come on, give me those points. What was it at? Wasn't it at 144 or something like that? Okay, I guess I'll have to do another one then. Or I could just go for 2 cannons, because they are 68,000 each one, I think, which is pretty significant in itself. And I do have to recruit some engineers too, so it is going to be quite costly to begin with anyway, but... Oh well, never mind. Okay, let me actually just take a quick look. Okay, so we don't need to worry about leveling anyone up. Both of the walls are down, so let's head on in and see what we can do here. Hopefully we'll be able to take this with very minimal casualties, and then we can hopefully head back to Nuln, and then we'll be able to buy some cannons and maybe even try them out. I'm actually not entirely sure. It depends on how smoothly this goes and whether we are intercepted by any enemy armies or anything like that, because obviously I want to make sure that this castle remains under our control. Anyway, let me just get off here. Thank you. And I am probably... you know what? I'm going to be a bit looser in terms of using spells. I'm actually surprised that I didn't hit any of these people right in front of me. What actually happened right there? Not entirely sure what happened there, but okay. Anyway, as I say, I'm going to be a little bit more, a little bit more liberal with my use of the spells, because, what's the point if I, end up with, I don't know, 55 magic power at the very end of the fight? I mean, what's the point? I might as well use the spells that I've been given, right? So, kind of makes sense. So, hopefully we'll be able to do that here as well. I did eliminate quite a few of the ranged units as well. Okay, so here we go. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can do... You know what I'd love? I'd love to be able to get around here. Okay. Why does that always happen to me? Yeah, it's always... what a classic. Because I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I would love to be able to do some massive damage with a spell, and then all of a sudden... good job, Matthias. Yes, wonderful, wonderful, good job. Yes. He knows how to do the friendly fire. He's learned from me. Let's just say that. He's learned from me. Or he's just... maybe he's doing it on purpose, Maybe he's trying to grief me, because I killed him multiple times already in this series. And maybe he's just saying, hey, look at this. Look at what I can do. And I wouldn't be surprised. Did you see that guy, by the way, flying over the wall there? That was really funny. Alright. Seems like someone hit him with one of these rifles. As you can see, this guy's actually using a similar rifle to me, which is very cool. Gotta say that. Can I actually hit from over here? Ooh, I think I can. Nice! We got him! That was nice. Okay, I like it. Can I get another one? Show yourself. Yep, there he is. got him. I did hit him, but unfortunately that did not kill him. Alright, let's just speed things up and get these guys dead. And there we have it. Alright, pretty easy. We were able to only sustain 8 casualties, so that's not bad, but obviously we want to try and make sure that we don't take too much more. Alright, so let's just do this. There we go. I'm going to leave all the prisoners. Going to take all the loot though. And I guess should I just devastate it? I don't know. I don't really care about castles that much. Yeah, let's just devastate it. Why not? Okay, there we go. And I can pretty much just leave, to be honest, can't I? Because isn't there a garrison? Oh, there's no garrison in there. Oh, well, whatever. I'm just going to leave it because, let's face it, if someone wants to besiege that right now, then they can obviously just go ahead and do that. I don't really mind. I mean, the war exhaustion right now is very, very close to being automatically resolved into peace. And we have a peace agreement with Stierland for a long time, actually. It's going to take a long time for them to declare war again. And we have 0% support at the moment, too. So technically what we could do, we have to pay them 810 tribute. I'd actually like to make peace, to be honest. If I make peace right now, that's actually really, really good for me, because that means that the castle that we've just taken is then not going to get taken back, but I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to sell all the loot that I gained, and this is exactly the reason why I wanted to take this loot, because this basically pays for one of the cannons that I'm about to buy, which is actually really cool. We're going to go over to the castle that I've just taken as well, just to see if I can maybe prevent it from being taken back. Okay, no, it seems like they basically just gave up. Oh, we're being declared war on by someone? Who are we declare? Oh, okay. I was actually unaware that they even had fiefs. Did they... What? What actually happened? Do they have fiefs now? I had no idea that they had fiefs, because I thought to myself, wait a minute. You know, I took a look at the diplomacy screen and I could see that they had nothing. But apparently, maybe there was a defector or something like that. Let's actually have a look. Ah, they have... Oh, no. Yep, there is actually something going on there. So, someone has left one of the other factions and defected or something. I don't exactly know what happened, but 1 town and 3 castles. That's actually pretty significant. Okay. All right. It might have actually been a defector from our faction. Is that true? If that's true, I am very agitated right now. I think it is actually true. That is pretty funny, actually. Okay, wait a minute. What's actually going on here? There's an army going on here, and apparently they were attempting to form some sort of army. Not a big fan of that, gotta say. So let's actually go on in there and see what we can do. Let's try and eliminate them before they can even get a chance to start their little insurrection that they have going on here. We really don't want them to try and form any kind of coalesced resistance to, I don't know, our dominance over the map, I guess? I have no idea what you could really call it, but I know what I can call this. Oh my, yeah, that is some pretty massive damage. I'm actually wondering, should I use this? Okay, I thought, hey, you know what? Let's give it a go, because obviously in the past I've used that, and it's been, well, less than amusing to use, but with all of those enemies that I managed to hit, it's actually a lot more fun, because they were weakened quite significantly, so it does actually make a bit of difference to use it now, to use one of those missile spells now. Anyway, let's do this. Oh yeah, there we go. And we're probably going to use another one of these, right? Ah, I was hopeful for a little bit more than that. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so how much magic power do I have? I think I have 14 or something like that. I can't actually see because of the text. Yeah, I have 14. There we go. All right, so that's actually not even bad. And okay, yeah, we got ourselves knocked off our mount thanks to one of the vortex dust storm things. And look at my wizards. My wizards are going crazy right here. Hilariously enough, they're knocking each other unconscious, but, well, my warrior priests are doing the best job that they can of trying to restore everyone with their AoE heals and everything. Can you imagine? Can you imagine them yelling at the top of their lungs, just basically being like, "Wizards, stop murdering all of our own troops!" Ah, yes, that's exactly what's going on. But yeah, thankfully, there we go. We were able to completely destroy them. And amusingly enough, actually, I did eliminate 135 of the enemy's units. And again, it's purely down to their own positioning. If they decided to move towards us, like you know, that army that was attempting to prevent us from besieging, if they moved towards us like they did, it would have completely nullified most of my attack. So yeah, that's definitely something that we should probably try to remember as well if we are attempting to fight someone with exceptional spellcasting skills. In other words, Balthazar or one of the vampire counts as well. I mean, I'm not entirely sure which vampire count specifically has some of the more powerful spellcasting ability, because I think most of them do, but Balthazar specifically does have some very, very strong skills in that regard. So, you know, obviously you'd want to try and maximize the amount of, you know, damage reduction that you can possibly get from that. But yeah, anyway, it does actually seem as though it is a defector from Stierland. That's actually apparently the case, because I saw an army from them actually going over and attempting to take the fort right there. So it does appear as though there was a defection from there, which is kind of weird in itself, because I actually thought that they only had a very small amount of fiefs anyway, so it's a bit strange. But I suppose we will see once war is declared once again. And oh, Marius? Oh yeah, Marius is on our side. See, now this is exactly what happens, you see. This is exactly what happens when there's defections all over the place. I always think to myself, wait a minute, what's actually going on here? And then I get completely confused about who's on which side, even though Marius is actually the ruler of our faction. Okay, let's have a look. I would like to buy some cannons, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, let me see. Where are your cannons? There they are. So technically, okay, so some people have said that mortars are really good, and some people have said that cannons are really good. I'm not entirely sure which one to use. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like mortars might be kind of cool, because it means that the cannons themselves don't have to have line of sight, whereas the cannons, they do need line of sight, and they can potentially murder your own troops. I'm wondering whether I should get one of each. Should I get one of each? Because that's only going to be 100,000 then. Let's get one of each. Why not? Let's get one of each, and we'll see how that goes. And then I do need 2 engineers, right? Pair of engineers and a pair of engineers. Is that it? You will need to hire at least 2 cannon crew. Okay. Do I need more? I'm actually not entirely sure. Okay, well, whatever the case, I have made sure that we have some engineers. I'm actually not entirely sure if we need more of them, but I actually don't know whether I have enough space for that, actually. I do have enough space, just about. Okay, so where are my engineers? My engineers are there. Okay. Do they level up? They do level up. Okay, so they can level up into artillery. I'm actually not entirely sure. Can they actually man the cannons like this, or do they need to level up some? I don't know, but whatever the case, they're going to level up really fast. If they get a lucky shot, they are going to level up really, really quickly, or at least I hope so. Why is this guy here? That's kind of strange. What's going on with that? My auto-sorting was not working properly. Anyway, we do now have a mortar and a cannon. Where are those things? There we go. Mortar and a great cannon. This is going to be... Okay, well, I apparently can't look at it. But whatever the case, this is going to be super fun to try out, and I will be trying it out in one of the next battles. But we'll have to wait for that in the next episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.